It's late and it's complicated. I could say that about a lot of things. But in the case of this video, I'm talking about the September jobs report that we just got today, which is now going to make the Federal Reserve's decision about whether to cut interest rates for you even more complicated. So what's going on? Well, finally, this morning, the federal government released the jobs report for the month of September, which was supposed to be released almost 7 weeks ago. Of course, it wasn't because of the government shutdown. But now that we have it, what does it say? Well, I can give you the good news or I can give you the bad news. I guess we'll just start with the good news. According to the report, after a rough summer, it looks like employers bounced back and created more jobs in the month of September. The report says 119,000 jobs were added to employer payrolls in September. Those jobs were added mostly in the healthcare and in the food services sector. Now let's talk about the bad news. The unemployment rate hit a number that we haven't seen in 4 years. In September, the unemployment rate was 4.4%, which is up from 4.1% in August. That means a lot more people in this country are out of work. And keep in mind, this data is late, so we really don't have an official gauge about who became unemployed in October or November yet. The other bad news is the Bureau of Labor Statistics revised the job numbers from the summer. Now, I reported a few months ago that those numbers were already pretty bad. But now, according to the most recent and more accurate data, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says it's worse than we thought. U.S. employers created far fewer jobs than were first reported. Here is a chart of all the jobs added to payrolls so far in 2025, from January to September. Here we are, September, with that 119,000 jobs added number that I just reported. Now, we already knew that in June, the U.S. jobs market lost 13,000 jobs, which was the first time that this economy had lost jobs in years. And today we learned that in July, instead of the 79,000 jobs we thought the U.S. market added, the Bureau of Labor Statistics now says today that number in July was actually 72,000 jobs added. But what's more concerning is the month of August. Now, we already knew that was a low job created month. We knew that U.S. employers only had added 22,000 jobs in August. But today we learned the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that actually there were 26,000 fewer jobs added in August, bringing that total to negative 4,000 jobs added. So again, this is now the second month in 1 year that we have lost jobs. That hasn't happened in years. So how is this going to impact the Federal Reserve's decision about your interest rates? Well, we know the Fed lowered interest rates last month because the chairman said they were worried about the weakening jobs market. And today we learned there are now two numbers that are contradicting each other. We learned on the positive side, 119,000 jobs were added in the month of September. That's a solid bounce back, especially after that horrible August number. That number of 119,000 shows that the jobs market is getting better. So that would give the Fed evidence that there's no need to cut interest rates anymore. But we also learned September unemployment reached a 4-year high, meaning more people are out of work. And that number contradicts the job gain number. The unemployment number gives the Fed evidence that maybe the jobs market isn't as strong as they think. They may need to cut interest rates one more time so the job market doesn't fall out. So what are they going to do? That's the Fed's job, balancing those things when they're in contradiction. So we're going to have to wait and see what they do when they meet in December. And if you want to read the jobs report for yourself, I'm going to email it out to you in tonight's Facts HQ email. So make sure you sign yourself up.